No,
Great
yes,
to
I
see
can see
you.
you now.
Great. Hi. The joys of
Um,
technology, hey?
I know, I know. It was, so far, fingers crossed, the tech has actually been running relatively smoothly, and that is, a couple of cameras can't come on, a couple of muting, but otherwise, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed
Brilliant.
for
You've got this. I'm sure it'll be great.
exactly. So Talia, just to remind everyone of the title of this talk, did
Yep.
you know the Natural History Museum supports young advocates? You're going to be
Yes.
sharing information about all of the stuff that you do to get young people involved in the Natural History Museum and how people can do that moving forward. Um,
Absolutely.
shall we start by having you introduce yourself? Who are you? What do you do? And tell us about the Natural History Museum.
Great. So, hi everyone. My name's Talia. I am a creative producer in community and youth engagement at the Natural History Museum. I've been here just over 2.5 years now. And oh gosh, where do you start with the Natural History Museum? So it's the where do I start? I'm trying to think of where to start. It's just so much, but I guess start with the main thing that we focus on, which is we do create advocates for the planet. That's what everyone in this organization aims towards. So everything we do at the museum works for young people like yourselves, to get more advocates for the planet and to help with the planetary emergency. We are quite an old building. We're about to celebrate our 150th birthday, which is, I know, absolutely bonkers. We're about 7 years out now or so. So really, really exciting, which with what that means is there's going to be some new programming, there's some new events coming up, and it's all really exciting. But yeah, we're a science organization. We have over 300 scientists at our organization working on life science, all day, every day. And we do loads of different events. But yeah, ultimately it's about looking after our planet and finding ways that we can do that together.
Yes, amazing. Well, I'm very excited about the 100th. I feel like it's, oh, 150, sorry. Um,
50.
yeah, no, that is a milestone. Can you reveal anything that you have planned in 7 years' time?
Gosh, there's a lot going on, but I think one thing that we've kind of we're starting on with is the idea that we've got this new gallery called Fixing Our Broken Planet, and I think that was kind of the start of this journey of kind of new things to come. It's a free exhibition space. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I'm slightly biased, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And again, talk really hones in on that point around creating advocates. And I think there's something to be said about advocates. We always think of like those kind of really big organizations or individuals that are able to go to talk to the UN, for instance, and other huge bodies to advocate for our planet. But actually, all of us can be advocates in small ways. And actually, all of those little, or what might seem like little things that we can do actually make a huge difference. So yeah, Fixing Our Broken Planet Gallery. If you haven't been yet, I definitely recommend to check it out.
There we go, guys. It's ready for you to celebrate now in advance of the 150th. That's fantastic. Okay, so yes, let's dive in a little bit more into the youth programs. What kinds of
Great.
opportunities are there for young people?
Right. So we've actually just about to do an event, really, really exciting event called Voices for Change, a Night of Climate Action. It's taking place on Monday, the 17th of November. So that's not coming Monday, the Monday afterwards, between 6:30 and 9:30 in the evening. Gosh, where do we start with that? It's got live performances, scene making, dance workshops, tours, a live stream straight into COP30, which is happening in Belém in Brazil this year. So loads and loads of exciting things going on at the museum that night. Best part is it's completely free. So do come along,
Fantastic.
have a good night, get a taste of what COP is from the Natural History Museum, but also just have a fun and have a dance workshop or a dance at the live performance, whichever you choose. So yeah, loads going on in terms of that. We are also going to launch a advocacy program very shortly. If anyone is keen to find out more about that, that will all be going live via our newsletter, Fixing Our Broken Planet. So if anyone is looking to find out more, I'd recommend signing up to that newsletter too. We have a new group of young consultants who are made up of our first two cohorts of our previous youth collective Elevate. So we've got a whole new consultation group of young people guiding us and making sure that we're on the right track and actually listening to young people and taking on board what they want rather than us just making the decision kind of independently in a room. That doesn't really work. So hearing from yourselves and people like you about what you want to see happening at the museum as well. So we're guided by you. So yeah, lots going on for young people to get involved in.
So much going on. I have a quick question for those
Mm,
watching, because you mentioned the advocacy program. What is
yes,
an advocacy program? Because
great
there's
question.
probably a lot of people that haven't a clue.
No, no, it's a great question. So thank you. I think sometimes you get wrapped up, don't you? So it's really great to ask. I think the best way to describe an advocate is anyone who wants to help look after our planet. So as I said, that could be using your recycling bin. That could be turning off lights when you're not in the room. That could be not leaving your heating on. For instance, all of those things help us help the planet. So when we talk about an advocacy program, it helps people who are maybe at the early stages of wanting to be advocates or wanting to do more with their advocacy journey, find out a bit more about what they can do, how they can do it, if they're looking at a career in it, what that looks like. And my job and the team's job is to help support people who want to go on that journey, basically. So the advocacy program will be made up of tips and tricks to help those starting at the journey, at the beginning of their journey, who want to be advocates on a larger scale in the future.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That is definitely clear. Okay, so and let's talk about some of the projects and events that you've worked on in the past that have gone particularly
Gosh.
well. What are the coolest? Or things that
Ooh.
for change?
Gosh, what's the coolest? Whilst I've been at the Natural History Museum, I've been really, really lucky to have some really cool programs to do. So I guess three come to mind, or four, I guess, three or four, but I'll try and keep them short and sweet. When I joined the museum, I was asked to set up this youth collective. So and again, just to be clear, youth collective is essentially a program for young people who want to come. Uh, on that advocacy journey or with any organization, lots and lots of organizations do collectives. So definitely check out if there's a museum or a cultural organization that you want to be a part of. That's a great way to get in. And they're usually over a few months. And you get to work closely within the museum with people, finding out more about what they do, how they do it, and how you can kind of take that next step with your career. So I was able to set that up, which was really, really cool. Shortly afterwards, I was able to do my own exhibition showcasing young people's work from the local community. So we had an exhibition on for 10 weeks called Sampling Nature, Local Stories, Global Futures. And that was honestly highlight of the career, just to see that open in the Natural History Museum, such an iconic space for an exhibition and really showcasing the people in the community and in their own space, their own exhibition. So that was amazing. I've just finished one called Noticing Nature, which is working with our NHM scientists. And actually, I don't know if you know an organisation, Sam, called the Black Wellbeing Collective, but was able to work with them on the relationship between mindfulness and well-being and nature and science. So we did some tours, we did some meditating, and we learned so much about the science that takes place in our gardens. And then, yeah, Voices for Change has been, we've not, obviously, it's not been delivered. That's in a week or so, but so far it's just been a brilliant project to work on and really exciting. So yeah, I think those are my top four. I've been very lucky to have four that I can just reel off. So it's
I'm sure
great.
there are lots more as well that you can add
Oh
to that
gosh,
list.
yeah. Yeah,
But
those are just the tips. So yeah, absolutely.
I do think it's really important to just highlight something that you said earlier, which is
Hmm,
that there are kind of the equivalent programs going on in lots of other cultural spaces and museums, because
absolutely.
obviously you guys are based in London,
Yes,
and there are people watching from all over the UK this week or this month.
everyone.
Yeah, hello everyone. And so it is, this is
Hmm,
not unique. It is unique in a way. The programs are specifically unique to Natural History Museum, but the
exactly.
concept is not unique.
No, not at all. I think it's great that so many cultural institutions have these dedicated programs to young people. So yeah, I mean, I know of quite a few in London, but I know there's some up and down the country as well. So my advice, if anyone is looking to join a collective or just find out a bit more about what your organization or your favorite organization is doing, just check on their website. And if it's not there, maybe just drop an email through, even if it's just like a generic feedback email, I would send it through. Because yeah, lots of places are doing things for young people, and it's great. It's really, really great. It's what we should be doing, right? So yeah, definitely check it out.
Absolutely. And like the general title or the Department of Learning and Participation kind of esque or outreach, they, where Talia works, they will be the ones organising this stuff as well. So if you can
Most
find
likely.
someone with that title, and this is kind of exclusively for the staff out there, I wouldn't recommend that students
Mm.
just like start spamming.
No, no, no. I would, yeah,
But
definitely staff if you're
yeah,
looking for that. If you
teachers,
find someone.
that's exactly it. Teachers watching, careers people watching, it might be helpful to loop in with your local creative and cultural organisations and look for someone with a similar title to Talia who can help you understand what's going on in your local area. And you guys are all part of kind of, these kind of industry networks as well. So
We
if you
are.
find someone who doesn't have anything going on, they might know someone else in another museum or cultural institution who does.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's lots of networks within the industry of particularly young people's programming actually has its own network. So it's always worth contacting someone at an organization, and they might be able to contact someone on the network, or they might just know people. I think it's a fairly small industry in the sense that a lot of people know a lot of people. I know last time I did this, Rachel Moss was on before me, absolutely phenomenal. Person, and yeah, so you tend to know people, so ask the question. They might know someone who can help you even if they can't.
Absolutely. And so if, because there obviously are lots of people watching who are interested in careers in museums and, heritage.
Yeah,
Um,
great.
for those people, what skills and qualities do you think are most important for them who
Ah,
people who are
amazing. So I think that's great that you've got skills and qualities because I think they are different. With skills, I think there is organization is key. Just making sure that you're just really organized is because there's can be quite a lot going on all at one time. You don't tend to do just one event at one moment. It tends to cross over. So being organized, I think, is a really good one. I think public speaking is also a great one. You find yourself doing talks and presenting to people. So if public speaking is a challenging one for you, I always recommend Googling or YouTube, searching someone who inspires you. And see how they do public speaking, because usually that's a really good way of looking at how to do it. So, public speaking is a really good one. Teamwork, if you're able to work in the team, is really important. It's all of the roles that I've done. I've been really fortunate enough to have an incredible team around me. And so being able to work within a team as well as independently is super important. For me, those are the top skills that you kind of need as essential. And enjoying it, I think. Enjoying it, I think it's a skill, but I think actually every job we should do should be something that we enjoy. So I think that's always a driving thing. Um, qualities. Qualities is a great question. I think honesty and being an honest person is really, really important. Sometimes things don't go the way you hope they go, or you try something and it doesn't quite work out, and that's completely fine. We're all learning. But I think being able to say, oh, this didn't quite work this time. How are we going to change that? And just being really honest about that, I think, is a really, really important quality. So being honest. I think being kind of optimistic about the future is also really great. I think sometimes it can be really hard for us. As I said, we're in a planetary emergency. Things can feel quite heavy at times, but I think that quality of being able to try and find the good things in life is actually really important, and being able to share that with others. Um, and yeah, I think it's important to just be driven and to want it. I think passion above all else is what comes through sometimes. Whether that be in an interview or in a conversation, or what, passion's really, really important. And then I guess this is more of a skill than a quality, but I think the ability to network as well is always a plus. So yeah, but passion for me is always top. If someone's passionate and willing to learn, even if they don't know everything, that's more important to me.
Absolutely. And on the topic of networking, guys, at the end of the day, we actually do have a session all about how to make networking fun, even if you hate it. So stick around for that.
Perfect. I think honestly, I worked with a company called I Love Networking for a bit, and is that who you're talking to,
No, no,
Isabel?
it's not, but
Oh.
I like networking. I think they're fantastic. Isabel's great. Yeah.
It's a, yeah, again, check it out if you're not particularly confident with networking or want to find out more about the kind of do's and don'ts of networking.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant place to start. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, networking's great. I love it, but I love talking. So
I think that's it. If you are a talker, then you probably will enjoy it, to be fair.
yeah.
It's just that initial bit of going up to someone and being like, "Hi, my name's Sam." Like that's the bit that everyone needs to conquer, and then once you've got past that, you're fine.
It is really hard, isn't it? I remember when I started out and I started in the arts industry. So I think we met when I was at Somerset House.
Yeah, we did.
And before there, I was trying to get into the industry, and I remember I would go to all these private views, and no one would talk to me, and I'd try and start conversations, and no one was really interested, and then all of a sudden, one day it just changed. You know, someone actually was like, actually, yeah, I'll take the time to have a conversation with this person, and then they brought me into a wider group, and then that wider group got wider and wider, and so yeah, I want to recognize that networking is hard and it can be a little bit tough if you're kind of going and trying again and feeling like you're not making those contacts or those relationships. But keep at it. Eventually it does fulfill. And then, we get to do things like this and talk to other people who work in the same industry and share the same passion. So keep at it. It will come through.
Exactly. And going back to the point that we made earlier, it's quite a small world as well. Once you're
Mm.
in, you probably will find it much easier to connect with everyone because everyone kind of knows each other as well. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. I
so
mean, we could make it bigger. I think that's always a plus. That's why
yes,
you're all here.
definitely,
So,
definitely.
that's part of what my job is bringing in new people. So, it's everyone, but you can never know too many people, in my opinion. So the more the merrier. Let's bring more people into this sector.
Exactly. And actually, kind of the skills and qualities that you were mentioning earlier, while you were saying all of them, I was thinking, like, obviously they're super relevant for your role,
Mm.
but they also are transferable over like literally every
Yeah.
role in museums as well. Even if you're working in the labs as a scientist, like all of those still apply.
Absolutely. I think that's part of the beauty of this industry is that actually there's really clear transferable skills. And what that means is, for me, I think there's something about if you try something out and it's not quite right for you, you can try something again. And those skills that you build from each opportunity can help you in that next chapter. So, you might start in museums. Hopefully you love it and you want to stay. But, if you're like, oh, this isn't quite for me, this can help you with your next step. So, or vice versa, you're in something or you go into something in the future and you're like, it's not quite for me. I'd rather work in museums. Don't feel that those skills aren't relevant. I still use some of the skills that I learned as a barista, which was my first job when I was 15, and I'm still using some of those skills now, many years on. We won't say how many, but many years down the line. Some of those skills are really, really important even now. So absolutely would say, whatever you're doing, whether you're still in school, university, you've got a part-time job, you've got a full-time job, um, just take note of some of the things that you learn because it definitely helps further down the line.
Absolutely. And really quickly, because we've got a couple of minutes left,
Mm,
there are young people watching who are studying all different types of subjects.
great.
Yes, exactly. So, can you just reassure everyone that you don't have to be studying history in order to make it into the museum?
Oh my goodness, absolutely not. So, starts off, you don't need to study like any particular subject if you're looking to go into the industry or the roles that I do, which is kind of community and youth engagement and career progression. So you don't have to study anything in particular at all. All of my colleagues have come from all walks of life. Some people have degrees, some people have masters. I'm working with someone who's doing their PhD. So it really depends where you're coming from. It really doesn't matter too much. I did history, but you don't need to. I'm working in a science organization. I wasn't hugely good at science when I was at school. I never thought I'd work for a science organization. I never thought I'd be good enough. in my like qualifications to do science, and here I am. So I would say big piece of advice is don't write yourself off at all. There's if you've got that passion, even if you haven't got the qualifications to match it, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not the right path for you. And I'm sure, again, get in contact with your local museums. I'm sure the rest of the industry will echo what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And you can, if you don't want to do a degree, that's absolutely fine.
Fine.
There are
We work.
definitely apprenticeships available, I'm sure, internships, all of those things. And like you say, contact your local museum, get some work experience if you can sort it, or just get involved in all the youth stuff that they're doing. There's ways to
Absolutely.
build up your roster of skills and make connections at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Amazing. Talia, it is a joy to have you back, and I'm sure we'll see you
Oh,
again at National Careers Week 2026.
I love to come back. Please always ask me. I love doing this, Sam. Thank
Well,
you.
unfortunately, that is a signed contract in my eyes. So
Oh,
for the
I
rest
know
of your
you've got
life
it.
with
You've got it
me.
on recording now. That's it.
Exactly, committed. Thank you so much, Talia. Guys, if you have any questions for Talia, as always, write them in the chat. We'll collect them up and then we'll send them over to her afterwards to answer in full. But it has been so fantastic hearing all about the Natural History Museum. Congratulations on all your exciting programs and for next week. What happens
Thank
next week?
you.
Very exciting.
Yes. Week on
Um,
Monday. Week on
yes,
Monday.
okay.
So
Well, we'll be
voices for
waiting.
change. Thank you so much, Sam. Take
Thank
care.
you. Say bye,
See you
everyone.
later.